please call the roll.
Freeholder Amoroso.
Here.
Freeholder Gans.
Aye.
Vice Chairwoman Ortiz.
Here.
Freeholder Tinelli.
Here.
Freeholder Voss.
Here.
Freeholder Zer.
Here.
Chairman Sullivan.
Here. Evidence of a quorum is present. Will everyone please rise for the pledge of allegiance? Mr. Niels, will you please lead us?
Thank you, Chairman. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. Will the clerk please read the minutes to be accepted?
November 28th, 2018, work session, Chairman Sullivan absent. December 5th, 2018, work session, all present. December 12th, 2018, work session, all present.
May I have a motion to accept the minutes?
Move the minutes.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. We will now have the hearing of the general public with a 3-minute time limit in effect in accordance with the Bergen County Freeholder bylaws. The board attorney will keep the time. When the time of the speaker expires, the board attorney will announce that the time has expired. Please fill out your slip of paper with your name and address and general topic of which you would like to speak about. May I have a motion to open the meeting to the public?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Unanimous. Bill Wasley.
That's it.
First time.
Excuse me. W-A-S-L-E-Y. First name legal is William, actually, not Bill. You find me, but, hi, I just wanted to quickly speak about, I believe, the dino issue in the park in Teaneck. We have such little free space, open space available in Bergen County. I question the wisdom of allocating any part of it to a private enterprise on that, especially one, if you've ever been to this, that park and taken your kid there. You know, it's not a great feeling you have after you walk out of there, that's for sure, and you certainly don't. I don't know anybody who's ever returned for a second time. But more importantly is, I live in Hackensack now, but I used to live in Bogota, about a block up from the park up there that I didn't even know I had access to there. I used to go to Papa's Pizza, I used to eat quiche all the time, I'd go to Dairy Queen over there all the time, and even half a block away was this park I didn't even know about. It took me a long time to find it. I briefly went there in November. It was a little bit cold at that point. I took a nice walk there, even on the, not a great path, but I saw a great blue heron, wood ducks, brown ducks, bunch of birds I don't really know about. I'm not really that much of that kind of person, so you have to excuse me if that's not my professional part of it. I'm just a homeowner in Hackensack who really would like something more left for our kids. And I think if we could put a few dollars into maybe, not advertising, but making it, it's inefficient and underutilized because of what the county does with it now. It's your own creation. If you want to change it and make it something else, you certainly could on there by making it more inviting, not having a thing. I wasn't sure if I was breaking the law walking even in there. I'll be honest. What's that? You were. I was.
Just for the record.
Okay, well, I did not know that because it's so poorly marked. So there you go. Okay, I just confessed to a crime. Wow. On TV. So anyway, I just want to quickly make my thoughts there. I think we need more things for our kids and other things there. I question, I know there's a whole bunch of plans going out there, so I'm not even sure what plans are going to be the final plans out there. But if you restrict access to the park to getting in there in the future, someone will have to pay for parking to enter a public park. I believe that's one of the scenarios. I'm just not sure that's really where the county should be headed with our very limited public space on that. And the amount of money you're getting per year. Really? That's why you're doing this? Come on, is there something else we don't know about? Thank you very much for listening, and
So give the officer your name and address. We can do something with those county funds right away. Thank you for your time. Just so you know that area, we don't have a plan for that area yet, and that area has been ordered to be remediated, so you're right, it's probably poorly marked. We've been working on getting better signage there, but right now that's not open to the public. But thank you for your comments. Thank you. Rachel Stern.
Stern, S-T-E-R-N. Thank you.
How are you?
Nervous. Thank you for letting me talk. I know you've gotten a lot of feedback about the dinosaur park, and I don't have too much to add to the experts and the naturalists who've spoken up. I just want to say that it's so important that we preserve that little bit of space for the wildlife that can't speak for themselves. But I just hope you'll very, very carefully consider and reject this commercialization of the park. Thank you.
That wasn't so bad, right, Mr. Stern? That was good. You did a good job.
I could have done better.
Next time.
Thank you. Thank you for your comments. Diana? Diana Sorkian? Sorikian.
I lectured in your class many years ago. Pardon? Sorikian, Soorikian. I live in Leonia, up in the high area, and today my daughter, who also lives in Leonia, but down lower, was visiting us, and we looked out, she said, "Oh, my goodness." And there were these two eagles crossing and going back and forth and circling, and they're known, I think, as Al and Alice. Have any of you
Really?
heard about them?
Yes.
And they come from down in the lower parts, which is what we want to protect and keep natural, and it's going to disappear with cement and cars and smoke and whatever. So it's just we want the natural land to stay as it is as long as we can. Thank you.
Thank you.
One of my students.
Robert Hermanson?
Happy holidays, Merry Christmas to everybody. Rob Hermanson, 6 Beecher Street, Mahwah, New Jersey. I was here last year. I was here several months ago for the same situation. When I came in and we talked about the gun range was told that we were going to have the same level of noise that was going to be there before. When I asked about how you were going to be able to know that it was going to be the same level of noise when you had no testing done beforehand, we were told that this is the way it was going to be. There is no doubt that the noise is louder and that you are now basically disturbing the township of Ramsey, Mahwah, Allendale, and even Wyckoff is hearing it. I asked very nicely to come in and try to do the right thing for people. And Ms. Amorosa lives in Mahwah, and I think, when we talked about it, the residents have spoken to you about this. They have reached out to you. I understand that you told them about that we're very proud of our police. We all are.
We are.
And I think that's great that we have it as a range, and it should be. But when we talked about concrete going down as opposed to grass, we said it was going to get louder. And when you were going to hit metal, it was going to get louder. And you ignored us all. Every one of us, everything got ignored. And it's still being ignored. The people there need relief. You need to figure out something. You need to either move this indoors and try to figure out something that has to happen there. But this has gotten to the point now where it's crazy. The night before Thanksgiving at 7 p.m., the SWAT team was up there shooting for an hour. The night before Thanksgiving. I mean, this is ridiculous. At what point do you sit and think about the people and the residents who live in that community? I mean, like I said, maybe it's only we worry about 69 other towns and we don't really care about what's going on in Mahwah or whatever. I don't understand. I don't know. I don't know what the deal is. But there was contamination there with lead. We never heard anything about that. That's still been swept under a rug. Now this is going on with the gun range, okay? And this is still a problem. The people are going to keep coming, and the residents are going to come. They're now starting to get signatures up there for this. And I honestly believe that we have to figure out a better way. The sound is definitely louder than it was before. When I can hear it at my own home, and I'm over 2 miles away, and I used to be able to hear it in the background, The night before Thanksgiving, I honestly thought someone was shooting firecrackers off in the area, because I was like, there's no way they could be using the gun range at 7 PM the night before Thanksgiving. When do you start thinking about the people, about this range? It's, there's noise, to me, forget about noise pollution, whatever, but there's stuff that's happening there. I understand, I know how it works, okay? Bottom line is, this needs to be fixed. It needs to be looked at. You have to do something about this, and you have to stop ignoring the situation. And I'm really embarrassed by you, Ms. Amorosa, for being in the town. If you can't take care of the people in your own town, how do you take care of 69 other
Mr. Emerson,
towns?
his time is
Thank you.
expired. Thank you. Have a lovely evening. We'll be waiting. This issue has been looked into, and we're continuing to look into it. One person's opinion doesn't make it a fact. Our county executive and the people up at the range, along with Ms. Amorosa, who does care about her constituents. As you can see, she's here. Someone just walked out after a statement. So we will continue to monitor the situation. And unfortunately, he didn't want to wait for a response, but that is what it is.
Yeah, Chairman, I'll just add
Sure.
also that I know the freeholder was just at the range.
Last week.
And I believe the mayor was either there or he's making arrangements to come up, and there was a whole discussion about notification to the neighborhood. Also, there was discussion about, there's another phase that's gonna be completed at the range, which actually is focusing on sound deadening, which was part of the original plans. And as everyone knows in that area, the range has been there for a number of years, so this is not a new
40
phenomenon.
years, 40 years.
So the range has been there for 40 years, so this is not a new phenomenon. And in terms of the level of noise, depending on what time of year it is and depending on what type of firearms they're training with, the noise level has always gone up and down. So again, the efforts are going on now that we have done some renovations and cleaned up the site. After all those years, there are discussions about notification for the town, so they'll know when there's gonna be certain types of shooting and higher numbers as far as the training process. But that is being worked out with the town, so I just wanted to make that clear for the record.
Thank you. And the complaints only came recently with all the leaves falling off the trees and the foliage not being what it was. So, we'll see what happens come spring. But thank you for your input. John Barry, how are you, sir?
B-A-R-R-Y, yes. I live in Teaneck. I'm a former reporter for the Record. I covered a lot of environmental issues. These days, I work with environmental organizations. I'm on the board of the New Jersey Highlands Coalition, as an example. I happened to be at the Leonia council meeting on Monday, because I'm also following very closely the issue of this proposed dinosaur park. They unanimously passed a resolution in opposition, which I'll leave a copy here. You'll be getting an official copy, I'm sure.
I don't even know what they're proposing. What are they proposing?
Thank you.
I'll just summarize some of the points that they make. But from their perspective, their town provided that land, along with Teaneck and neighboring towns, to be a park. It's now, from their perspective, a heavily forested natural area intended to be kept as a nature preserve with forested trails and walking trails. So whereas the available forested land in Bergen County is rapidly dwindling in the face of overdevelopment, et cetera, they're concerned that a commercial dinosaur amusement park complete with zip lines, a 400-car bus-paved parking lot, new sewage system, amphitheater, gift shop, and food vending stalls would destroy this area. They feel that there are some good ideas in terms of providing public access to this area with trails, boardwalks, and a footbridge across the Teaneck Creek. I personally would like to be able to put my kayak in the creek there if I could get underneath the highways. In some places across this country, you can do that. What I personally want to talk about is when I came to New Jersey, when I got out of the Army in 1965, The Meadowlands was an industrial wasteland and garbage dump. Secaucus was a pigsty. Chemical smells on portions of 1 and 9 were so strong in the summer it felt like it took the paint off your car. That was my welcome to New Jersey. Then I discovered the rest of New Jersey, the parklands, the highlands, and some of the shore. The Meadowlands have come a long way in that time because of all the things that have been done by environmental organizations, municipalities, county governments, Green Acres programs. The taxpayers have provided the money for every single Green Acres program that has been put up to the ballot. Unfortunately, what's left in the Meadowlands, and I've done a lot of kayaking and canoeing there, are only patches of wetlands,
It's 3 minutes, Mr. Barron.
which is all that those eagles have left. Thank you.
Thank you for your words. Barbara St. Martin Cho.
Hello. St. Martin Show, S-T space M-A-R-T-I-N space C-H-O. All right, thank you, Mr. Chair. Hello.
How are you?
Nice to see you all again. First of all, I want to concur with the gentleman before me. I know on Facebook, I have a couple of Facebook veteran sites, and whenever I put up photos, pictures of eagles, everyone just goes wild with it. They absolutely love it. And my children and I have thoroughly enjoyed the set-aside in Bergen County, Flat Rock, the Tenafly Nature Center, Bergen Audubon, and what they have in Teaneck. So anyways, but that's not why I'm here. I'm here to tell you about a group of folks, the Korean American Vietnam War veterans. I advocate for them. They're my fellow veterans. There is an incredible history of how they helped us. Some people say they were our allies. 300,000 Korean veterans supported the U.S. in Vietnam, and we have about 2,800 in the U.S. who are American citizens, about 200 in New Jersey. I don't know the number in Bergen County. But they don't have access to the VA. They don't have access to any of the veteran availability. They can't even have a Vietnam veteran license plate. That's because, but that's at the state level, but that is because our license plates are controlled, our veteran license plates are controlled by private organizations. So whereas, say, Pennsylvania has two kinds of veteran license plates, that one by an organization and the other by the state itself, that you don't have to belong to the private organization. Anyways, what we're setting up at this point so that they can have Agent Orange, they've been exposed to Agent Orange, they can have medical treatment. Holy Name has made a commitment to create a civilian Agent Orange clinic, if you will. The VA in East Orange has also committed to helping with that, such as continuing medical education, et cetera. And one of the things I want to put in a plug for the Affordable Care Act, and what a lot of veterans don't realize, is that the Affordable Care Act has allowed them to seek civilian medical treatment for things that for war-related injuries and for any kind of service-connected injury, because if there are pre-existing conditions, then the insurance companies can deny them. Because there's a moratorium on pre-existing conditions, they can go and seek whatever medical treatment that their insurance would allow. The other thing I wanted to mention is that I am currently a member of the Veterans Advisory Board. The Bergen County, I don't know if it's still in existence, but I would like to continue. I advocate for veterans without charge, and Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for your work.
Yeah, I want to just have just 2 seconds, please.
Anybody else? Can I take a motion to close the meeting to the public?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Freeholder Tinelli would like to say a few words.
Thank you, Chairman. So I just want to address the people that came up again to discuss the dinosaur, possible dinosaur exhibit at Overpeck. There is no plan, so I'm kind of puzzled what Leone is voting against when there's been no plan presented to anybody for us to even review. There's a lot of things that you guys mentioned today that has been mentioned many, many times that we've had to continue to correct the record. Zip lines, paved 400-spot parking lots, none of that's factual. The reality is that needs to be cleaned up. The reason we were joking is because you're not really supposed to be in that area. It's supposed to be blocked off. It's contaminated. We were court ordered to remediate it. So regardless of whatever's going on there, that area still needs to be remediated. However it's gonna get remediated is being determined by the state of New Jersey, working with with the administration. So regardless of what goes there eventually, right now, that area needs to be remediated. So what you see there now will have to have work done to it in order to allow you to go there. And the commitment by the administration was, we're gonna have walking paths by the water so that people can get in there and bird watch, which they're not allowed to do right now. So we're actually gonna preserve that area and turn it into usable parkland at the end of all of this. So I wanna thank you for coming. Hopefully, the correct information will start to get out there after so many people come to the meetings and we try and correct the record. But a lot of the things like the paved parking lot, the zip lines, it's not open to the public. There's a lot of things that, information that we need to start getting out there so people understand. And like I said, I don't know what Leone is voting against. There's no plan to vote against. Whether they vote, so I'm kind of looking forward to seeing the resolution that they passed. Thank you, Chairman.
You're welcome. And may I also add that we completely fund open space, probably better than any county in the state. We have tremendous amounts of parklands, and that's what we as a Freeholder Board have a pretty good record when it comes to the environment. That's why we get endorsed by most 99.9% of the time, because we are doing what we feel is the right thing for the environment, and we'll continue to do so. So, again, the Freeholder Board has passed the penny for the open space per 100, and listen, we're in the fight with you. We want things to be done right, and we're gonna preserve as much space as we possibly can, and we're gonna clean it up the best way possible. So thank you all for coming. I appreciate it. Will the clerk please read the resolutions on the consent agenda?
Resolutions of consent are 1263-18 through 1323-18.
May I have a motion to accept the resolutions on the consent agenda as read by the clerk?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Roll call, please.
Freeholder Amoroso.
Yes.
Freeholder Gans.
Aye.
Vice Chairwoman Ortiz.
Yes.
Freeholder Tinelli.
Yes.
Freeholder Voss.
Yes.
Freeholder Zer.
Yes.
Chairman Sullivan.
Yes.
7 ayes, the consent agenda is passed.
Are there any resolutions pulled, postponed, or tabled? If so, will the clerk please read?
There are none.
We will now have Freeholder committee reports. Please keep your remarks brief and to the point. And we will start with Freeholder Vice Chair Ortiz.
Thank you, Chairman. I'd first like to congratulate the class of 121 Police Academy graduates from the Bergen County Police Academy at the Law and Public Safety Institute. The graduates came from Bergen, Essex, and Hudson County. They got educated and trained from our top-tier academy. We wish them all the best as they serve and protect our communities. I would also like to congratulate Lieutenant Chuck Silverstein, who was the officer in charge, who also announced his retirement at the graduation. Freeholder Amoroso and I attended the Arc of Passaic and Bergen County Winter Gala, where all the employees, board members, trustees, uniquely able, and their families enjoyed a night of dining and dancing. We also gave out awards to the Employee of the Year and the Joan Seidler Memorial Award. I would also like to thank all the sponsors that made the night possible. Last night here at the Freeholder Chambers, we celebrated Kwanzaa, and we got a wonderful presentation by Mrs. Barbara Taylor Rosner, who taught us about the 7 principles of African heritage and the beautiful traditions celebrated throughout the week of Kwanzaa, which is December 26th to January 1st. And tonight, my colleagues and I attended a very emotional ceremony at the homeless shelter to remember the lives of the homeless members of our community who have died this past year. And as a board, we're always advocating for our homeless. We have ended chronic homelessness and homelessness for our veterans. And I really thank Julia and everyone involved and the churches that make it possible for all to treat and to help all our homeless here in Bergen County. And I would also like to wish everyone a Merry Christmas, a Happy Kwanzaa, and a healthy and happy, prosperous 2019. Thank you, Chairman.
Thank you, Freeholder. Freeholder Gans?
Thank you, Chairman. I will make this short and brief. Merry Christmas, Happy Kwanzaa, and a Happy New Year to all. Thank you.
Freeholder Amoroso, thank you, Freeholder Gans. Freeholder Amoroso?
Okay. As Chairwoman Ortiz said, we were at Kwanzaa. We remembered our homeless and formerly homeless folks who lost their lives this year. That was a very somber memorial tonight. Freeholder Zur and I attended Staff Appreciation Day at the Bergen County Board of Social Services. It was a really fun event. We also, though it was a memorial in a way, we remembered longtime board employee Vishnu Patel, who died while he was visiting a family in India, and his wife and daughter were there, and so we honored him. Loved ARC, the gala. They have such fun time, our uniquely able folks. Finally, heartfelt congratulations to our chairman, Tom Sullivan, and our vice chair, Jermaine Ortiz, for a year of robust leadership managed with a sense of humor. Happy holidays, as we just saw tonight when we almost arrested a member of the public.
Thank you, Freeholder
Happy
Amoroso.
holidays.
That's the nicest thing you ever said about it.
I bet.
Freeholder Dr. Voss?
Thank you, Chairman. And I have to echo what Mary just said. You always did everything with a little Irish humor in it, which made the meetings very, very palatable. We had a menorah lighting in the observance of Hanukkah on the 6th of December. And one of the things that is a very pet project of mine is Project Literacy. And today at the homeless shelter, it was mentioned by several people who were giving sort of eulogies for people who had passed. Some of the clients over there cannot read, and Project Literacy is for adults who have difficulty with reading. And so I will go over there and I will make mention of the fact that, you know, we have adult tutors to help adult people. And the interesting thing is, I'm sure you will follow the news, our largest group that's coming in for literacy are the Turks. We have very large numbers of people from Turkey, and they all happen to be very highly educated professors, doctors, scientists, but when they come to this country, they need assistance in learning English. And so we had several of the Turks who are now teaching in New Jersey come and speak about their experience. The Kwanzaa ceremony last night was absolutely great. Being a history teacher, that was a fantastic presentation. And I want to call people's attention to the fact that on public television, there is a fantastic series of programs on the history of Africa, which I think everybody should make an attempt to see and learn from. And the other thing is, I'm so happy about the homeless shelter because we probably have the best homeless shelter in the state, if not in the country. But one of the things, I'm a Rotarian, and we ask several times a year to have the privilege of serving dinners over there. And there are so many organizations that want to serve dinner to the homeless that we only get an opportunity to do it twice a year. So that's is something about the wonderful people of Bergen County really, really caring about those less fortunate. And I will say Merry Christmas, Happy Kwanzaa, and everybody stay safe and have a wonderful holiday. Thank you, Chairman.
Thank you, Freeholder. Freeholder Zur?
Thank you, Chairman. this past week, we got to go, Freeholder Amoroso and I went to the YWCA Twin event, which honored women who are making a tremendous impact not only in their workplace, but in the community. It was an opportunity for the YW to not only acknowledge people who are kind of blazing the path in different industries, but who are also blazing the path and setting an example for what our workplaces need to be and should be as far as inclusive, community-minded, and really setting the bar. It was an amazing ceremony. Also went to a interchange with Garden State Equality. A lot of the work that we've been doing on LGBTQ issues, being one of the few counties in the state to have a LGBTQ advisory committee, definitely could be better coordinated on a statewide effort. They were very interested in the model that we had set forth as far as our youth summit. There's going to be a lot more opportunities, and it was a great opening conversation, I think, with Garden State Equality about what we can do to broaden our reach and to really continue to blaze the way for not only our county but for the state. With Freeholder Amoroso and I were also at a gun violence service honoring the 6th anniversary of Sandy Hook. And as we continue to strive to do more to make our schools safe and to do outreach as far as stigma-free, to make mental health services more accessible, to all the things that we are doing so that these tragedies cease to exist, to take those moments to pause, as you kind of said into the holiday season, certainly reminded us of the importance of also in this holiday season, remember how blessed we are to have our loved ones, to be able to celebrate all these holidays. I think, as so many of our colleagues mentioned, you know, we were at menorah lightings, at Kenora lightings, at Christmas tree lightings, at holiday celebrations. This is definitely a time to make sure that we are safe, to take that Uber, to make sure that we are making sure that our roadways are safe. And on that note, I just want to wish all of my colleagues and all of you who are watching this on television a happy, a healthy, a safe new year, filled with all the joys, not only during this season, but throughout the year. Thank you, Chairman.
Freeholder Tinelli.
Thank you, Chairman. Just want to remind everybody that Winter Wonderland is still open, so please get to Van Son Park and take advantage of a great opportunity to bring your family and enjoy our park system. I just wanted to take a moment to thank the chairman for an outstanding job this year, and our vice chairwoman, having held the position as a full-time employee and know the work that has to go into running a successful meeting and to keep continuing to steer the ship in the right direction. I just wanted to commend you for an outstanding job.
Thank you.
I'd like to thank Lara and the staff for a great year. I know we'll have an opportunity at the reorg to also thank you guys, but I just wanted to take an opportunity tonight to thank you for all your efforts in keeping us on task. And lastly, I'd just like to wish everyone a happy holidays, Merry Christmas, and a happy and healthy New Year. Thank you, Chairman.
Thank you. I'll do my report and continuing our commitment to providing the most fiscally responsible and efficient services to the residents of Bergen County. The board tonight approved shared service agreements with various municipalities throughout the county for snow plowing services. This will only add to the efficiency of our already strong snow removal service. In addition, we've entered into a shared service agreement with Richfield Park for use of municipal law enforcement computer servers for off-site disaster recovery, excuse me. It's an important service that we can provide to ensure protection to the local police departments. I do want to echo a few things my colleagues said. Class of 121, the academy graduation, I had the honor of speaking at. I believe that we have the best training facility in the state, probably one of the best in the country, and that's done up in Mahwah. I want to thank everyone for everything they do for that, and I want to wish that class a safe career. We had talked about Kwanzaa. I had the honor of speaking at that also, and it was very educational and humorous at the same time. She did a wonderful job. She quizzed me, which I'm not going to tell you. I'm not going to tell you the results of the quiz. They were all good, though. So happy Kwanzaa to all that celebrate. I want to thank all my colleagues tonight that attended the homeless memorial service. I just want to say thank you to everyone. It's very important that we continue to think about others who are not as fortunate as us. And I also like to highlight some resolutions, the Resolution 129818, in which we are providing an engine exhaust removal system at the Bergen County SWAT and Hazmat headquarters. After listening to the request of the county law enforcement officials with regard to their training area conditions, the board's action to fund the necessary changes is well needed. Congratulations to the Bergen County Technical Schools on once again being named to the National AP Honor Roll, which means that more students in the schools are taking advantage and excelling in AP classes. Only 373 schools in districts in the United States were named to the honor roll this year. This district has earned that honor for multiple years. I do want to wish Diane Gumbel a happy birthday. She's not here tonight, but she's one of our staffers and a close friend. And I also would like to just bring up something that happened. Larry, we were talking about earlier about people helping people that don't have as much. Larry and Sarah, the owner of ShopRite, they donated over 6,000 turkeys to community organizations to make sure that people have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And I want to thank them for that. And with that, I just want to say Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year to everyone out there, and thank you everyone for a great year. Okay, have a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. We are adjourned.